Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Let's get right to it. So a couple of days ago, I made a video about signs that you're an unattractive man. And in that video, all the points that I discussed, it had nothing to do with the physical appearance. It had more to do with like your personality flaws, your character flaws, and that sort of thing. And like habits, bad habits, which are really important to which this dictates like how attractive a person is. But now let's talk about the signs like that showcase that you're unattractive physically. So if we can, we're gonna say the obvious, like you look like you don't take care of yourself. You look like you just like got out of like a homeless shelter or something like that. You look like a crackhead down the street. We can say those stuff. But nowadays, in the era of like looks maxing and people just overly trying to improve their looks, some people go way too far when it comes to getting surgeries, trying to change a specific feature about themselves, which I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's gonna say like, oh, you're perfect the way you are, you shouldn't get anything done, because we live in a superficial world, especially out in the West, and the way just things have been trending. Even other countries, third world countries that has never been impacted before, they're cultivating a lot of the Western ideologies, so, and a lot of these trends. So everyone's getting surgeries nowadays. So women out here getting lip injections, fillers, BBLs. Guys out here, for my guys that are balding or thinning hair, we're getting hair transplants, which is nothing wrong. You want to look your best at the end of the day. But there's guys that go way too much when it comes to surgeries, into getting ab surgeries, ab implants. You can see like this rapper, I think his name is Quavo. I don't think it was Quavo, my bad. Badman Cave or something like that. I forgot the name, to be honest. But he got a surgery to get abs, which, like, if you had like really worked out hard, you watched your diet, you took care of yourself well enough, eventually the abs would have been shown. But he was lazy and he got money, so he was like, yo, screw it, let me just pay for it. And then there's guys that are out here getting limb lengthening surgeries. They're increasing their height, they're modifying their facial features. If they have a big nose, they're getting nose surgeries. And I'm saying, like, people are chasing this, ideas or these blueprints of what a Chad or Tyrone, like their facial, I guess, like the structures and stuff like that. They go so much into it that they get surgeries to make themselves look attractive. And some of these guys, like, I'm saying, like, they'll do the most and yet they still can't get any play because they didn't change their internal self. They didn't change who they are internally, who they are at their core. Shout out to one of my mentors, Coach D. He's the one that always kind of like ingrained this philosophy into me that one day you're going to lose your looks. No matter how much looks maxing you do, one day you're going to lose your looks due to whatever reason. Life happens. And when you die, you're going to not take your looks with you to the grave. Your looks, you're going to lose it. And as you age, aging will happen. You can age gracefully. You can do the best you can to age gracefully, but you're going to lose your looks at one point. Things just going to happen, At that point, what matters is who you are as a man in your internal state, at your core. Now, I'm saying all this to say that, not that like, looks don't matter. They certainly do. And if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not eating healthy, you're not respecting your body, this temple that you have, if you're not exercising on a consistent basis, you're not, doing the right skincare routine, hair care routine, and stuff like that. Like, you don't gotta go crazy with it. Don't do it over the max. Like, don't do it too much. But as long as you're doing the bare minimum, which is required to keep yourself, because every individual is different. Some guys just have to do more work than others. That's just a straight up reality. Some guys' genetics are, I'm sorry to say this, but they're cooked. They get the short end of the spectrum. Like, But they can change. It's not that they can't change. It's just they have to put in more work. Like, I had to do a lot of work. Like, I'm not saying I'm all that, but it's just like ever since I upgraded how I physically appeal to the world, I started getting attention like crazy from women, from men. It's because this stuff is real. But there are guys I know that have to work even harder just to get like the basic threshold where, some guys are at. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's all part of the game. Some guys have to work way more harder to get the same results where a guy doesn't have to work as hard. That's just part of the game. That's part of the nature. You can be mad at it, or you can just choose to get better. Not better, better. Yeah, like it's like you can do the best you can to get in the right shape, lose your body fat, drop the body fat percentage down. As you get leaner, you do look more nicer. Your face gets more lean. You show, the jawline, your cheekbones pop out more, and it's just like you have this like glow to you, as long as you're cutting down in a healthy way. And then if for the guys that are bulking, as long as you don't put up like too much fat, you'll look great. Because there are guys that look way more better when they're bulkier too. And women have all types of preferences. It's not just like, one type of guy that women like. Women like bulky guys. They like guys that are, very skinny, lean. They like guys that are in between. So as long as you're doing your best to get your best body that you possibly can for you, and that's what's going to happen. But keep it real with yourself too. Like, it's not always like, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to attract the best possible mate that you can. So, like, that's another thing I wanted to address. Like, a lot of this, oh, I'm working out for myself, I'm doing this for me, self-care, which is great. Do it for you, absolutely. But just know you're probably doing it to get attention from the opposite sex. You want to get better women. You want to get more women. So, like, yes, it's not that looks don't matter. Looks definitely do matter. They matter a lot. And you get the halo effect when you look good, you look presentable. People assume good things about you, like off the rip. Like, they'll assume great things about you. They think like, you're this guy that just gets what he wants out of life. He gets all these women. This guy that's just like good with people, has a good heart. Like, the halo effect is very strong. Where versus a guy that's, could be overweight, extremely overweight. And he knows that he's not taking care of himself. He's not putting in that work. So he knows deep down he's not doing what he needs to do. So there's this energy, bad energy that he's carrying. And he knows that in himself. And that energy can be easily 100% be felt by other people. And they're like, yo, something about this guy, it's just like, it doesn't make me want to like respect him. So that's when the negative aura, I guess, like, it works against them. Is because they know they should be doing the work to change who they are or what they are, but they're not doing it. And then they're projecting this negative energy onto the world, and people sense that right away. They're able to pick up on that, and they tend to stay away from those types of people. So that's real stuff. You know what I'm saying? So do the best you can to upgrade your looks. You know what I'm saying? Signs that show that you're an attractive man, you're an unattractive man, is that you don't look like you take care of yourself, and then you have a negative attitude about yourself. That's really it. I'm not gonna go into the details of like why you're unattractive, because this is not a looks based like channel, or like a black pill channel that goes deep into those things. I'm not about that. I do believe in taking care of yourself. Do the best you can to look better, and just have a positive attitude, and just be real. Like, move life through authenticity. That's what I believe in, and that's what this channel is about. So if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, share this video, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. I'll catch y'all on the next one.